what are the obstacles in implementing Mafia offer? It is not going to be a cakewalk that you create an offer and you just go and tell everybody, look, guys, this is the offer. Go and announce everywhere, and customers will actually start chasing you, and they will want you to want to sign this offer. No, this is not going to happen. Customers are not going to accept it so easily. But apart from that, even if you really create a great offer and have your marketing team, sales team trained on that, there are other obstacles. So let's look at those other obstacles. First obstacle is that the prospects have a preferred list of suppliers and vendors, and you are not on the list. So how to break through? They said, no, we have standard lists. They are regularly supplying to us. We are okay with them. We are happy with them. So this is one obstacle. Now see, you have done that, achieved your decisive competitive edge. So you have released some of your capacity, and now you want to produce more and sell. So for that, it is not only that you expect more orders from your existing client, but you are trying to get some new clients. And when you approach them, this is the obstacle that stands in your way. So what action can you take? Seek a meeting with the prospect and explain what you can do for them. It is a kind of presentation of your Mafia offer, maybe in a different format, and tell them that if they are impressed with your offer, then you accept a low throughput first order only, with the client who really has large potential. If you don't have large potential, don't bother. But if you have large potential, getting entry into this company is important for you. If you are able to convince with your offer, accept a low throughput offer, one order. Then in that order, you prove your exceptional lead time and performance on that first order, and secure better projects with better throughput in the future. Now, this is not follow step now 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the suggestions. These are some of the ways. Not every time with this also you may be able to break through, because some companies may not even entertain you. No, we don't want to talk to you only. We are enough. So you can't help in that case. The second obstacle could be, there are many requests for quotations coming from the company, and that are not serious requests. You know what happens? They just want to check the price from a couple of more vendors. They have decided from whom they are going to buy. But is he charging us the correct price? So just ask their competitors. So, and for you, it is just not sending one piece of paper. It could mean do a lot of work, significant amount of work, and that is a waste of your time. In any case, they are not going to consider it. So what do? You ask for face-to-face meeting, because if you remember, we talked about the question, why should I buy from you? Now you have got a very good answer. You are not going to do the standard blah 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 that all competitors are doing. Your pitch is different, so that you can deliver if you have a face-to-face meeting. Nowadays, you may not be able to go personally because of COVID situation, but having online calls is not very difficult nowadays. In fact, it has made you easier to meet people more often, easily, quickly. So have those meetings to understand their significant need and value of the offer. See, you may not know what problems they are facing. So you have to guess, you have to ask a few questions without giving them a feeling that you are interrogating them. But if you get a feel of like that, then you can slowly start telling them how you solve this problem. So you talk about their problems, don't talk about your product, because they know your product. Talk about the problem that they are facing and how you have solved similar problems for your other customers. And then you can, if they have some interest, if you are able to gain some interest, then you can present the details of the offer. Okay, the third obstacle could be, somehow you feel that your costs are very high. Though we are saying that your competitors are almost similar, they have similar machines, similar people, etc., 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 but you feel that your costs are very high. So the cost could be typically you are using cost accounting methods for pricing. So there are a lot of allocations, this, that. So you feel that this is the product cost. So if you go by product cost, you are bound to feel that your costs are very high. But if you adopt to throughput accounting, it could be a paradigm shift for you. So that is one thing. So you would know what really you can afford to offer. But more importantly, since you have developed a mafia offer, you know, you can make the price look insignificant by raising customers' perception of value. Now, how do we raise the customer's perception of value? Well, our product is same by solving the problems created by our industry. This obstacle is faced by many of us, that orders or projects are awarded based on price. So they always say, what is your price that you are offering? What is the best price that you can give? So once your Dr. Godred had talked about it. He was talking to some oil exploration company. They have very huge multi-million-dollar projects. And most of the work is done by contractors. They are discussing how to select contractors. So there is some process of doing that. He said, fine, fine. So supposing you have shortlisted some contractors, on what basis do you select them? The answer was obvious. Obviously, the price. Dr. Godred said, okay, price. Now, these contracts are awarded, they take 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, that kind of duration, or even more. Sometimes it takes even more. So, I took an example, supposing this particular contract that you're offering, and everybody is offering, say, about 12 months' time. Now, there is one vendor that you have already eliminated. Why? Because of his price. He is offering 9 months. 9 months to, okay, do this. Yes, but his price is far too high. Dr. Godred said, I understand, price is far too high. I agree. Now you tell me, supposing this is done, okay, forget about it. Tell me every day, once this project is commissioned, every day how many barrels of oil you will be able to extract? They say, every day so many thousands of barrels, etc. Then he asked him, can I ask you a question? So yes, sir. Do you know how to multiply? You multiply this number of barrels by the price at which you will sell, and you multiply that by 3 months. That is what you are going to get by choosing this vendor who is going to deliver you 3 months ahead of time, and you are throwing him out because okay, his price is high. How much high? You compare that. Of course, he said that you make it sure that he has the ability, real ability to deliver it in 9 months. But if you are convinced that he can deliver it in 9 months, and his price is marginally high or even substantially high, compare that with the gain that you are going to make, how much money you will make, and then make the decision. But just by saying price, not going to help. But this is the reality today, because we only deal with the purchase managers whose job is to get the vendor at your lowest price. So somehow you need to reach the people. And I'm telling you, our marketing and particularly sales people are excellent in networking. They can reach anybody. I'll tell you one small example, a real example. One of us who is there on the call, I don't know whether he's there on the call today or not. He needed to talk to the Vice Chancellor of Pune University for some reason. Now we don't know number, we can't go. He's in Mumbai, the Chancellor. He didn't know who is the Vice Chancellor also. But he had people who could find that out and reach him really and talk to him. So our sales and marketing people are really good at reaching the people who are important to you. And then if you are able to reach the people who suffer from the industry practice of of delivering it in so many months and charging the lowest price, they will the ones who will push you, they will represent you, they will want you to do the project. Only thing is you need to help them to calculate the impact of timely as well as early delivery. Now, if early delivery is not important in a particular project, okay, ask them what is the standard failure is. Show your data, how you again and again and again you are delivered on time, and ask them how much does this cost you if you, when you get it late. They, many times they will not be able to calculate because it is not tangible. It has several repercussions. So when you say why, so what are you buying? You are buying this service or you are buying those problems, those repercussions. So that is the way probably you might be able to get rid of this perception of price, the most important thing. And people keep on harping price. The fifth obstacle, that is the last obstacle, I have not got any longer list. Particularly this happens in really, when you are dealing with your retailers. They have some fixed motion, fixed way of doing their business. Okay, maybe Pravinji might be able to throw more light on this because he deals with so many retailers. So there, what we say is that use the layers of resistance to overcome this particular obstacle. Now, what is layers of resistance? Those who know TQC will know it. Those who don't know, don't worry. It's a long journey, so don't worry about that. I can't answer this in few minutes. So these are the 5 obstacles that I talked about. Now, if I want to summarize what Akshay Mafia offer is, it is an offer you make to segmented market to make them desire your product or services over your competitor's product. Your offer is so good that the customers can't refuse. The offer you make is a combination of your product, services, and how you deliver them. For your offer to be unrefusable, you are most likely offering something of equal or greater value than the price you are charging. It is something that your competition cannot quickly match. Your competition can't or won't offer the same. We saw the reasons for it. The Mafia offer is not a lip service. It is an exceptionally attractive and hard to copy. It is based on significant internal improvements in companies' logistical performance. It brings exceptional value to the customers by addressing major problems that are experiencing with their suppliers. It is directed towards a specific segment of the market that is large enough for the company to grow, and the company should be able to deliver without exhausting their resources. Otherwise, you will fall flat. So this is the video that I showed. I did not run through it again, but now you will understand why I said that yes, Dr. Godrat has summarized what all I talked about in last 2+ hours in just 3-4 minutes. So we talked about what is the marketing job, what is the job of the sale, and what you need to do. So that local optima, the notion of local optima, that is, if you want to do away with that, that is your internal improvement that you need to do. Now, you need to do homework before you launch your Mafia offer. You must get your operations in shape. That is paramount important. Again and again, I am harping on that. The fastest way to kill a Mafia offer is to not be able to deliver it. It will get killed in no time. So make sure that you can deliver your offer by doing a couple of dry runs. What are dry runs? Pretend that several of your current order, you have not yet launched it, but you pretend that these orders which you are working on are under Mafia offer. And then see how you do. Are you able to do it? Had it been under Mafia offer? Determine how much you would be paying in penalties if every order were guaranteed. Say you have 100 orders today and you think that now we have done internal improvement, so we think we can deliver them, but some orders might get delayed. So you just imagine and do that dry run, mock run, maybe in your mind, maybe something physically, to see what percentage of orders you will be able to deliver on time. If it is not what you really have offered or desired, don't go to the market. Figure out why. Get rid of those obstacles. Find out those obstacles. And then also determine, supposing some orders are delayed, what is the amount of penalties that you will have to pay. And you know, believe me, people are really nice. One of the closest principles is people are good. Dr. Goldratt had actually tried this out. He had implemented this mafia offer for one of the companies, and the orders started going on time as really desired, very fast. So due date performance was excellent. There was early delivery also. What he said that let us delay purposely. Let us purposely delay one order, and while dispatching that order late by 1 day, attach the check for the penalty. And let's say what happened. You know what happened? Customer returned that check. He said, okay, 1 day, okay, delivery. That has happened for the first time. Fine. I don't want to penalize for you that you have solved my problem like anything. I'm very happy. So, okay, don't pay me that penalty. So this is, kind of customer relationship that this successful implementation of mafia offer will bring you to. Now there are some watchouts. Your load relative to your capacity has increased due to the increase in sales, which causes you to start missing some commitments. You have to be very watchful on that. Increase your quoted lead times. All along you are saying 2 weeks, now you tell marketing hereafter we start putting 3 weeks because our load has increased. Speed up operations or cut corners, causing your quality to decrease. You might think that nobody will notice the quality, but no. If you start seeing these symptoms, you better watch out. You will fall flat. You will kill your mafia offer. When you have too many orders, some leads are starting to slip through the cracks. Because there are too many orders, people say that they are not able to deliver. Customer service starts declining. The first step of your process, which is required for new customers, like design or engineering, has become a bottleneck. So if you have too many orders, these things will happen. If you have to be watchful about these symptoms and take timely action. If you continue to measure and pay attention, you should be able to avoid this problem. It is not that they're unavoidable and you will always fall flat. They are constantly predictable. They are certainly predictable. And if you pay attention to your load versus your capacity in all parts of operation and sales processes, then you can make the necessary preparation and responses. We talk about 5 focusing steps. What you are going to do is after you have fully exploited the constraint, you have to look for the opportunity to elevate. You are exploited, you are subordinated, your sales have grown, and you see in the near future they are likely to grow more. So in that case, be prepared to elevate your capacity. And as you know, this is a continuous loop. Why a mafia offer may fail it is not very uncommon. It's not that the offer is great, so it will never fail. It can. Communication is the key. The biggest problem with the communication is the fallacy that it has taken place. If you communicate everything to only one person, that is the purchase manager, you have not communicated. He may not be impressed at all. A good offer delivered poorly won't increase your sales. You will feel that I made such an excellent offer, but the fellow is not convinced. Second thing, your offer, even though it works, you start getting more orders. If you have not done your homework, it will fail. So don't rush to make the offer to the market. Do your homework that we discussed earlier. Internal subordination is of paramount importance. Don't let people fall back into their habits of working in a silo mentality. Make sure that you don't exhaust all your resources. You always maintain excess capacity. I'm using the word excess capacity. You definitely need productive capacity, but as your sales grow, your productive capacities start going down. You have to be watchful of that. You don't have to only elevate the consent, but very likely you may have to elevate some of the non-consent also. Your offer is not refusable. Is one criteria. If you can't increase your price, if you are saying that you are solving the problem to a great extent, as a order of magnitude, okay, customers' performance is improved, nobody else can do it, and you can't ask for a price increase, well, then maybe your something is wrong with your offer. It is not yet that great, or you are in an industry where prices are tumbling, they are falling. Then at least you are able to hold your price line. If this criteria, if it not applicable for the offer that you are making, you should apply it before you go to the market. You should examine it. I don't. You should examine it. If I do this thing, implement this offer, it is, and if it is accepted by the customer, and we are able to deliver it, are you able to see on the near the horizon of time that you can even ask for more price, or you will stop the price war you started by the competitors. So this is the most important criteria to know how good your offer is.